Kia ora, and welcome to Big Boys Boxing.
I was in the gym the other day. Oh, he's out cold! Straight to his face!
Oh my goodness!
He's taking a short hook on the inside. Crap! Boom! Look, here comes another one. Here comes another one. 3 punches to the button on the inside. Short compact hook, and that man is marbleized onto the mat.
What is going on, team, and welcome back to Big Boys Boxing. I'm Jono, your host, and I hope you're doing well, staying safe, staying healthy, all that good stuff. So don't forget to hit the like on your way in, subscribe if you haven't already, and hit that bell icon for notifications for future content. So, as the title says today, anything goes. I haven't been on for a while, so thought I'd better jump on, have a yarn with y'all. Hasn't been a lot going on with heavyweights, and that's one of the reasons why I've been a bit inactive. However, we do have a couple fights coming up. The only one of real significance that I can think of at this point is Parker v Shizora for the heavies at this point. But we do have actually a few happening this weekend on Friday or Saturday New Zealand time, but Friday in the UK and in the States. We have Dempsey McKean is fighting on a DAZN show. I think the main event on there was Akmadali v someone else. There's also I can't even remember what the rest of the card is, but it's a DAZN card. I don't expect the opponent to be too flash, being fought on Friday and there's still TBA, so yeah, can't expect too much. I guess it'll be the first DAZN fight for Dempsey McKean, so they're going to start him off slow. I don't think we're going to get anybody even the quality of like a Jonathan Rice or anything like that. So it is what it is. Let me do a quick sound check here. Slow, I don't think. Yeah, we're all good. Alright, so let me just quickly go through the schedule for this weekend for the heavyweights, because there is a couple of fights worth mentioning. What's that one? Jack Murray? No, don't know. Just go through and find the names that I recognized. They went down a bit. Give me a minute here, team. November 18th. No, where was it? Oh, Sonny Konto is fighting this weekend. 7-0 prospect, top ranked man. He's gonna be fighting Joel Cordell, journeyman kind of level, who's 8-5-2. That should be a fairly straightforward win for Sonny Konto. Should be a top ranked card. Let me have a quick look what card it's gonna be on. The main event. Oh shivers, Sonny Konto looks like he's the top of the stack in this event. He's the main event. Yeah, okay, looks like he's the main event. There's a woman's fight underneath that. And what else we got here? Welterweight fights. And these are guys that I don't really know. A lot of guys earlier in their career by the looks of it. So, is it a top ranked show? It's matchmaker. Promoter is Joe Hand Promotions. Okay. Don't even know if it's going to be televised. It's got no media listed here, so meh. But Sonny Konto should push through that one, no problem. Let's see a competitive one we'll get to. What else we got here? Christian Thun, up and coming prospect, 6-0, is also fighting on, I think it's on Saturday. Yeah, on Saturday. It'll be Sunday New Zealand time. And he's going to be fighting Andrew Sutterfield. Don't even know who that dude is. 5-6, so pretty much run-of-the-mill prospect, up-and-coming building record fight there for Christian Thun. So yeah, that'll be another straightforward win. This is the competitive one, I thought. Rydell Booker, old Rydell Booker is fighting this weekend. He's 26-4, and he's going to be fighting Ray Austin. So two older journeyman level guys. Ray Austin's 29-10-4. I think that's a pretty decent fight. Rydell Booker should come away with the win on that one, but they're both getting long in the tooth, those fellas. So yeah, well, it could be a fun fight to watch. Let's just give me a sec here. I will see if we've got a broadcaster. Doesn't say anything on BoxRec for media, but it's in Motor City Casino, so it's in Michigan. Doesn't look like that one will be televised either, unfortunately, but that could be a fun little fight to watch if you can find a way to watch it. Oh, Rydell Booker. There's another heavyweight fight on there as well. Tyler, how do we say this? Tyler Perrault, who is 1-2, and he's going to be fighting Curtis Head. Oh, I know that name. The journeyman level guy, 5-8. What else have we got on here? There's the Dempsey McKean one, and it's still TBA at this point. Did I see any more names worth mentioning? Quick scroll through. I can't remember because my memory is shot. Other Muhammad Ali guy. Oh, Zan Kazabutsky. There we go. Another up and coming prospect, 16-0. See, his numbers are getting up there. He's gonna have to start stepping up and fighting Alexis Garcia. I don't think is a step up because I've never heard of Alexis Garcia. He's 11-0. So let's have a look at this guy. Or maybe I have heard of him actually. He's from the Dominican Republic. He's 31 years old. What else have we got on him? Got no stats. No height, no reach. That throws flags up for me. No height, no reach means nobody's been interested in him. So it hasn't been put on BoxRec. Okay, he debuted in 2016. He's got a 63% KO ratio, 35 rounds in his 11 fights. He has 7 KOs out of 11. Just have a quick look through his record here. This Alexis Garcia. You're going to recognize anybody on his record. I'm not guessing so. Francisco Sullivan's. Okay, 23-3 he was. That sounds okay. Well, the next guy down was 11-0. Aaron Sands. He beat him. He knocked him out in the 3rd round. There's got to be a name I really recognize on here, surely. Frank Moller, Eduardo Hernandez, Alexis Sanchez. Man, I don't know any of these dudes. Miguel Solis. Who's he? 0-2. Well, nah. So this guy's record. Let's have a quick look. Has he fought anywhere outside of the Dominican Republic? I wonder. I don't think it matters. I think this guy's going to get knocked out. Alexis Garcia taking on. It wasn't Christian Thun. Who was it? Ozan Kazabutski. There are a few heavyweight fights on this card. This Kazabutski card is going to be in Germany, in Hamburg. It says media, USA, ESPN. So we should be able to get that one. It'll be on ESPN or ESPN Plus by the looks of it. So we should be able to see some action from Zan Kazabutski this weekend. Good. We don't get a lot of coverage from him. Also on that card, we've got good old Senad Gashi is going to be fighting. He's 21-3 presently, and he's fighting somebody I've never heard of. Surprise, surprise. How do we say this one? Jairo Jasquin Diaz, who's 6-7, has a losing record. So Gashi's a funny kind of fighter. He doesn't like getting hit. If he gets hit, he goes into a shell. But if you don't get that respect, he goes balls to the wall. He's quite entertaining to watch when he's got his balls with him. But if he gets hit, his balls suck right up into his body, and he shells up and don't want to fight no more. Who's this other guy on here? Murad Aliyev. He's debuting heavyweights, and he's fighting the almighty TBA. I'll get through the schedule, and I'll get over to the chat shortly, team. Just looking for any more fights. We're just about to the end of this week's schedule for the heavyweights. Nick Campbell, 3-0, is gonna be fighting Danny Whitaker. Okay, 4-5 is Danny Whitaker. That is a show that will be, where's that one? It's in the UK. Wembley Arena. What the hell? Is there a big event on Wembley Arena this weekend? Let's have a look. We better go to the event and see who's heading the card. Wembley Arena, it's got to be a decent card to be there. Who the hell is this? Lucia Button, light heavyweight, fighting Dan Aziz at Wembley Stadium. That's the main event. I don't even know who the hell these dudes are. Richard Riakbor says that's the co-main, but I suspect that's probably more likely the main. Richard Riakbor, 12-0, fighting, geez, I'm going to butcher that name too. I'll just say his last name, Doradello. I'm not going to attempt that first name. So yeah, Richard Riakbor, cruiserweight, worth a look. Mikael Lawal, 14-0. Fighting Steve Ward, 13-1. So there could be a few decent fights on there to watch. That one was also a cruiserweight, and there's a few other. There's a welterweight. Oh, there's a heavyweight fight. Who's that? Oh, that's the one I talked about. Nick Campbell. Okay. Now there's one other one I just wanted to have a quick look at. Here it is. Antonio Zepeda. Another Zepeda. It's like the Ramirez's or the Martinez's or there's heaps of them. Antonio Zepeda is 3-0, and he's taking on Chad Davis. who is 6-15, definitely journeyman level. That show is in the US, and that's going to be in Arizona. We got no media for that one, so I don't know if we'll get to see that one. I think that's pretty much all the ones I wanted to mention. One quick scroll through, we're just about at the bottom of what I wanted to see. It's still on the 20th though. Derek Starling, that rings a bell. 3-0. He's taking on Nathaniel Copeland, who's 13. Oh, sorry, no, he's 1-3. That's also a show that's on in the States and New Jersey. No listed media for that one. No. Devin Young. Don't know the dude. He's 1-0. That's why. Yeah, okay. That's pretty much it for the heavyweights that are going to be fighting it this weekend. Now, of course, we've got the big fight at welterweight this weekend between Sean Porter and Terence Crawford. I just saw a title of an article I thought I might mention on BoxRec as I was scrolling through. Something from Jeff Horn there. He says Tim Tszyu hit harder than Terence Crawford. Can you believe that? And now that I've mentioned it, Tim Tszyu is fighting tomorrow night. The other guy, Inoue, he's going to be fighting. Wednesday night fight in Australia. Not hopeful of being able to find a broadcast for that. It's always tough for those Aussie fights. I think they got them on main event usually over there. Unless you got a VPN, it's pretty hard to watch. Unless they can start getting Showtime or Top Rank or ESPN or DAZN to start broadcasting those fights outside of Australia. The publicity Tim Tszyu's going to get isn't that great. So, alright. So we've got Easy Peel in the chat. Actually, better drop a link for anybody who might like to join, because now's the time. There's a link to join team if anybody wants to jump on for a yarn. Anything goes today. It doesn't even have to be boxing, man. Right. Easy Peel. What's he say? Charles Martin fighting Luis Ortiz. Here. Huh? First I've heard of that. Sorry, my son's having a spaz in the background because his Netflix paused. Yeah, just sort him out. There we go. Now he'll leave me alone. Luis Ortiz, Charles Martin. First I heard of that, man. Let me try and look that up. No, there's nothing confirmed, man. Southpaw v Southpaw. It's an okay fight. It's an okay fight if it happens, man. But got nothing official as yet. Martin Ortiz, the Battle of the Southpaws. I wouldn't say Charles Martin is elite, even though he's a former world champion. He's definitely a contender, but elite to me means top 5. Ain't no way either of them are top 5, to be honest to me, but that's just my opinion. Everyone's entitled to their own. She is what she is, man. What else? Yeah, Sean Porter and Terence Crawford this weekend is a good fight. Let me just bring up that card so I can see who else is on there. I'm picking Crawford in that fight. I'm still torn between whether I think he can stop Porter or not. Porter's been in a few wars. He's a warrior. He comes to fight, but you know he's full of dog, as everyone says. But you know what? I'm pretty sure Terence Crawford has just as much dog. The problem for Porter is I think Crawford has a bit better IQ. He has a lot more tools in his box to fall back on, whereas Sean Porter seems to fight one way damn near all the time. So yeah, I can't see him beating Terence Crawford, to be honest. But it's a great fight. It is a great fight, and big ups to Sean Porter for crossing the street, as the PBC fighters all say. You're on the wrong side of the street. Well, look, it can be done. Can be done. I thought that fight was this weekend, is it not? There's nothing else on the card yet. What the hell? No, it's definitely Saturday the 20th of November. And it's saying there's nothing else on the card. What the hell? A one fight pay-per-view? I don't think so. Boxrick needs to step up their shit, man. That's caca. Nothing else on the card. Get the hell out of here. So yeah, well, maybe I should make my pick now. Yeah, I'm gonna say Crawford can be the first man to stop Sean Porter. And I'd say round 9. 9 or 10, but I'll go for 9 to be specific. I think he can do it. I think he can stop Porter. But we'll see. We'll see what goes on. Now, over the weekend, well, there's a couple of fights I haven't spoken about. The David Benavidez v. Kyron Davis fight. Yeah, it was okay. Davis was game. He came to fight. I think it was a 5th round stoppage. Kyron Davis was landing some good counters. In between Benavidez' shots, he was showing some good footwork, but looking at how the fight was going, Benavidez' punches seemed to be heavier. The punches that Davis was landing on, Benavidez didn't seem to be affecting him. And the way Davis was moving around so much, I figured, well, those heavy shots from Benavidez, it's only going to be a matter of time before Davis starts slowing down and he's going to get caught and stopped. And it got to the point where Kyron Davis's team threw the towel, and Davis seemed pretty upset about it, but it is what it is. David Benavidez moves on. He wants the Canelo fight. This Kyron Davies fight was fought at 169, a slight catch weight, and that was in the contract. I see a lot of people saying, oh, Benavidez didn't make weight. Yes, he did, because it was a short notice contracted fight, but it was at 169. You know, Benavidez has had a tumultuous career. He's had the WBC belt taken off him twice. First time was got caught snorting coke or something, so they took the belt off him. Second time he lost his belt on the scales, didn't make weight. And then this fight here, being at 169, is he getting close to not being able to make 168 anymore? Because he's a big dude for super middleweight. But I don't know. If he gets that Canelo fight, he better make weight. Otherwise, what's the freaking point? What's the freaking point? But at the same time, I'm not so sure he's going to get that fight. Because what's Benavidez got to offer? What's anybody got to offer at 168 for Canelo? He's got all the belts. So I think Canelo's going to be looking at Beterbiev's next fight and make a determination from his performance whether he thinks he can beat him or not. And once that fight's done, expect to hear offers being made to either Beterbiev, and if that doesn't work, I think it's going to be possibly David Benavidez. I know Bivol wants that fight as well with Canelo. I'd like to see that fight between Bivol and Canelo at 168, but once again, if that happens, what is Bivol offering Canelo? He doesn't have a belt at 168, so yeah, we'll see what happens there. But yeah, the other fight this weekend was Jaime Munguia versus Gabe Rosado. Very entertaining fight. You know, Gabe Rosado's coming off an upset win over Beck the Bully. What's his name? Can't remember his first name. Malakuziev, karate guy. Gabe went down twice in that fight. Got up off the canvas and then caught Malakuziev trying to come in and bully him. Bully Gabe while he was in the corner, caught him with a great overhand right, put him to sleep, knocked him out. It was an upset. And I think maybe that one punch and knockout kind of went to Gabe's head a little bit, because it seemed like when he was in there with Jaime Munguia, he was just trying to land that same one shot, that overhand right, and he did land it a couple of times on Munguia, but it didn't seem to phase Munguia much. He has a hell of a chin, does that boy. But Jaime Munguia is showing some decent improvement for me. He is... Shit, I better go and get in that chat in case someone's in there. Sorry, team. Put myself in there. Boom, there we are. I am in the chat for anybody who wants to join. There is a link at the top. If anybody wants to jump on. And so I better fix that. Give me a sec here. Supposed to be... Where is it? Can't find my little thing. Here we go. Discord panel. Already on. Not showing up though. Meh, who cares? Alright, shit, no, I forgot what I was talking about. Hi, Jaime Munguia. I'm enjoying watching this kid, man. I mean, when I first started watching him a few years back, I thought, shit, this kid's exciting. He was fighting at 154. He's massive for 154. I think he was only 21 at the stage. Threw a lot of punches, monstered lots of guys. Volume, got hit a lot, so, you know, he's vulnerable. There's an element of excitement there. But it got to a point where he started getting hit too much. He was getting close, well, not close to losing fights, but closer to losing fights. And I think he took on Eric Morales as his coach. And for a bit there, it looked like he was plateauing and he was trying to do stuff and it wasn't looking that great, but it's starting to come together a little bit better now. He's not sitting down on all of his punches. He's concentrating a bit more on speed, you know, 3, 4, 5 punch combinations, and then getting out of there and sticking to a jab. But he seems to be managing his stamina a hell of a lot better as well. So Jaime Munguia is an exciting fighter to watch. He's still quite vulnerable on defense, but his best kind of defense is offense. If your defense ain't that good, but you know, he's been caught with some big shots and he's weathered storms. You know, it was seen him hit with big shots and he takes a step back for a second, but that's it. It's not like he's wobbled or anything. Dude seems to have the hell of a chin, and he beat Gabe Rosado on points in the end, quite convincingly. A lot of people say Rosado deserved more than 2 rounds. I think the judges scored at 117, 111, 118, 110, 119, 109. Lots of people say Gabe deserved more rounds than that, but when you look at it, you know, what rounds did he do enough to win? You can have a competitive fight and have a freaking shutout when it comes to the scorecards. Just because the guy was competitive in the rounds doesn't mean he's going to win rounds. So I thought 118, 110 or 117, 111 was fair, to be honest. Kind of like the Caleb Plant fight against Canelo the other week. You know, people saying Plant was competitive, he deserved more than 2 or 3 rounds. Yeah, he was competitive for a few rounds, but did he do enough to win them? I'm not so sure. I only gave Caleb Plant 2 rounds in that fight. I had it 118, no, I only gave him 2 rounds in that fight and it got stopped in the 11th. I think I gave him round 1 and round 1 and 2, 1 and 3. But one of those rounds in those first 3 was very close, and I gave one of them to Canelo. And I think round 4 was fairly close as well. So I think at the very best, you could give Plant 4 rounds. 2 of those rounds are pretty close. So that would make it... Well, it doesn't matter what the scores are because it was a knockout. But if anybody gave Caleb Plant more than 4 rounds, I don't have any faith in how that person scores fights. They're one-eyed. Yes, Caleb Plant had a decent jab. He was rolling a lot of shots early in the fight, taking the steam off them, and he was throwing a lot more punches in those first 4 rounds than Canelo, but the effectiveness of the punches was pretty low for me. There was a couple of good right hands that he threw and landed, but they're just not as effective. You could tell by the sound of the punches when they hit how hard they are. He wasn't putting a lot on those shots. Either he wasn't putting a lot on those shots, or the dude ain't got enough power to make any noise with his gloves. As soon as Canelo threw a single shot, single left hook to the body or the right hand over the top, even if it's blocked, it sounds like it's way heavier than Caleb's punches. So, meh. Anybody wants to give him more than 4 rounds, I think you're kidding yourself. But don't get me wrong, I've always liked Caleb Plant as a fighter. I think there's still a lot more he can learn. I don't like how he puts his head down so low. Kept getting caught with that left hook or left uppercut when he's on defense. But at 168, Caleb Plant can still make a decent living out of it, I think. Chinese Yoda. Interesting name. Haven't seen that before. Welcome. If you're not Pigeon Mike Tyson. I think Plant will return He's an improved fighter. Yeah, I definitely think that experience will do him some real good. Up and comers, especially the way Caleb was talking, maybe needed to be humbled a little bit, and I think he will be a little humbled, but at the same time he will learn a lot from it. He can go and review his tape and see what he can improve on. I think there's a decent amount he can improve on, so let's see how he does. I was shocked in round 9 he was talking to Canelo, saying I'm good for just 21 fights, etc. That's the type of shit that I'm talking about. Dude needed to be humbled, eh? No, it's all good. It's all good. Hey, look, Pigeon, if you're not going to come and troll and be an idiot, I won't block you, you'll be fine. It's all good. Yes, I think Caleb Plant can still do a bit at 168. There's a few fights around. I wouldn't mind seeing Caleb Plant and Jaime Munguia get it on, but we know that ain't going to happen being PBC and DAZN. I'd like to see Munguia v Triple G, with both of those guys being on the DAZN platform. There ain't a lot stopping that fight from happening besides, there's not enough money. So we'll see what happens. Triple G has a fight lined up already. We play that round. Triple B. Yeah, I will have to go and have a look at it after the stream, man. Caleb talking during the fight. I'm good for 21 fights, yeah. That's crazy, talking that shit during a fight. Need reassurance from your opponent that you're good enough to be in there with them. That's crazy shit. That's crazy, man. But yeah, there was fight announced for the Parker v Shizora undercard. Joshua Buatsi is going to be fighting Maxim Vlasov. That surprised the shit out of me. I mean, Joshua Buatsi needs to step up, and people have been calling for it for a while. But stepping straight into an ex-world champion, I think he was an ex-world champion, wasn't he? Maxim Vlasov? Hold on a sec. Maxim Vlasov. Here he is. Oh no, it's not. That's someone else. Maxim Vlasov. There we go, box trick. We got him. Yeah, Maxim Vlasov, 45-4. He's fought at cruiserweight. He's fought at light heavy. He's Russian. 6'3.5", 76-inch reach, 76.5-inch reach. But yeah, Maxim Vlasov. He fought Joe Smith Jr. and Joe Smith Jr. got the win in that controversial decision at light heavy. Is it light heavy? Yeah, light heavy. Where else? He's been in some good fights. Isaac Chilemba. See, no. Krzysztof Glowacki. He was in the world title fight. I think that was the fight Glovarski picked up the WBO title. And that was at Cruiser. This dude can fight, man. Joshua Buatsi, currently 18-0, but hasn't really fought anybody of any real note. He fought Richard Riakpo. That's probably the best name on his record, domestic level. Yeah, Marco Kalik, I remember seeing that fight. Ryan Ford, I remember seeing that fight. Marco Antonio Perehan, no, I didn't see that one. These are Boatsi's fights. But yeah, Boatsi needed a step up. I would have thought a step up to European level, or fight another outside contender or gatekeeper, or just over gatekeeper level, like an older contender or something. I know Maxim Vlasov is older and a contender, but the dude is massive compared to Boatsi, and he's been in high level title fights. I mean, Vlasov is only an inch and a half taller than Joshua Buatsi, actually. Buatsi's 28. Vlasov be getting long on the tooth. Let me look at his age. Where's his age here? He's 35, so he's getting up there. He's had a lot of fights, but that is a massive step up for Joshua Buatsi. If he pulls it off, he's going to be straight in the mix with the top guys. So let's get it, man. That's a great fight, and it's something I was not expecting. What else is on this card? Zalfa Barrett's on there at Super Welter. He's going to be taking on Bruno Torino. Who's this? Someone Richards. What's this fight here? Super middleweight. Carlos Gomora. Oh, Gongora. Carlos Gongora. 20-0. Fighting Lerone Richards. He's 15-0. So that's unbeaten. Super Middle's having a good dust up on the card. That sounds good. Another super middleweight fight. Jack Cullen, 20-2 with one draw, is also going to be fighting, and he will be taking on Henry Kuka. Don't know who that dude is. 17-1. Just looking at it on paper, it looks like a reasonable matchup. Ryman Dixon, lightweight, who is 3-0, gonna also be taking on the almighty TBA. And also David Naika, the Kiwi boy. I think it'll be his second professional fight at cruiserweight. Also at this point is fighting the almighty TBA. He's been in camp with Joe Parker a lot, in with Andy Lee. So we'll see how he goes. Actually, I did hear about who he was going to be fighting. Jordan someone? Jordan Williams? No. Shit. I did hear who it was, but I can't remember the guy's name. I think the guy's unbeaten too. He's like got 14 or something fights, which is a bit tough for a guy just coming out of the amateurs, just coming out of the Olympics. And to be honest, I don't think David Naika has the right style for the professionals, but we'll see how he goes, man. Be good to see him on a decent show, get a bit of publicity, and if he can make his mark with a good performance, then maybe we'll see how far he goes. I don't know, man. Right, back to the chat. What we got here? A huge step up for Boati for Shell. I did not even know that was announced. Wow. He fought Zerto and Joe. Yeah, Zerto Ramirez as well, that's right. Yep. He's been around for ages and he's got a hell of a lot of experience. He's a big dude. So, I don't know, man. That's a scary step up. Not having that experience in between those levels is playing with fire, man. Playing with fire. Let's just say, hey, Phil Cole Roberts in the house as well. Hope you're doing well today, brother. Yeah, I was just talking about that huge step up with Joshua Buatsi there, Phil, against Maxim Vlasov. And looks like there's a few half decent matchups on that Parker v Shizora card too. So yeah, we'll see how we go when it gets to, was it 19th of December or something? Still fair way away. Who are you guys picking and by what method for Porter versus Crawford on the weekend? And has anybody heard about who Dempsey McKean may be facing? At this point, all I've got is the almighty TBA. Joe to get that world title again. Yeah. What do we got here? It's open for Joe to get that a world title again. He gets past Shizora. Yeah, well, I think he's got to knock Shizora out to make it a little more attractive for somebody to take a voluntary against him. It's obviously not going to be in the very near future because those belts are tied up. Everybody's got action with Fury having to face Wilder, Usyk having to face Joshua again, and then straight after Joshua v Usyk, I'll bet you there'll be another mandatory announced for that. But you know, funny thing actually about WBC, they did say that they would order Dillian White versus Tyson Fury once the 30-day period for Usyk and Fury to potentially make a undisputed fight has passed. That was last Tuesday, and there's still been no order from the WBC. Why? Usually it gets ordered straight away after that period would finish, and they have 120 days to negotiate to get the fight made before it goes to purse bid. But there's been nothing. Dragging the chain again. Always dragging the chain, this WBC. Porter, 10th by stoppage. Wow. Hey, it could happen, but personally I can't see it. I've got Crawford stopping Porter, the first man to do so. Got a funny feeling about this though. Yeah, see. Well, if you got a funny feeling, I think Porter by stoppage will be paying very well in the bookies. You wouldn't have to put a lot on it to make some decent money out of it if it happens. But I don't know, man. Like I say, I got Crawford round 9 stoppage. I'm thinking 9 or 10. And I think we're going to see a bit more of the dog that I think Terence Crawford has in him. You know, Sean Porter has a lot of dog in him himself, but I think Terence Crawford's got just as much dog in him and more skills, more tools in the toolbox. Parker has been a lot more cautious in recent years. Hell, is he what? He's been taking a hell of a lot less risks. I'm hoping this extra time that he's had with Andy Lee, we're going to see some of that more aggression, some more confidence in himself, take a bit more risks, and get this donkey out of there. I've been saying it for years, man. Being a Kiwi and trying to support Joseph Parker is one of the most frustrating damn things you could do. He's got the athletic ability, he's got the speed, he's got the skill, but he can never put it all together. Never. Not against a decent level opponent anyway. So frustrating. Frustrating in recent years. We want to see the explosive Parker of old. Exactly, man. Exactly. I'm still in shock. Joe lost to what? Yeah. Well, that head clash in round 2 or whatever it was changed the game big time. Joe felt sorry for himself after that. Shit like that happens in boxing sometimes. If the ref misses it, the ref misses it. There's no point sulking and complaining for fucking 4 rounds, trying to get the ref to do something about something he didn't see. You just got to get on with it in some cases. Even if it isn't right, you still got to get on with it. And I don't know, you could argue for Joe's side of things that maybe he was concussed for 3 or 4 rounds, because he seemed to come right after that, but he did get knocked down legit in the 9th. I think it was the 9th. Then he did knock White down in the last round as well. Funnily enough, Dillian White don't want a rematch, even though it was controversial. I wonder why. I have Crawford stopping Porter. I can't laugh too hard because you predicted the Galahad KO. Oh, that was, yeah. I see a lot of people seem to think it was a huge upset. I mean, Kiko Martinez has been around for years. He's an old veteran. He's fairly durable. But Kid Galahad has never been all that. Never. Mauricio Lara would have done the same thing to him. I think he's a contender at European level. That's it. He only had a belt because Josh Warrington vacated it, didn't he? So, you know, legit champ my ass. Legit champ my ass. Bug getting stoppage. Bug getting stoppage, bro. Yeah. This great Joe made champion though. Tua never did, no. However, you know, I think Tua's management was the issue when he was in his prime and whatnot. He beat guys that had been world champions. The timing was wrong. The opponents were not quite right. Joe was the first New Zealand born heavyweight champion. There was what's his name? Oh, the guy way back in the day. He fought at light heavyweight. I think he fought at middleweight too, and heavyweight. And he was a heavyweight world champion. I can't remember his name. Bob Fitzsimmons, that's him. He was a New Zealander, but he wasn't born in New Zealand. He moved to New Zealand and had residency when he was champion. So, meh. But Parker, yeah, first KO. He was also the 4th youngest champion of all time at heavyweight. At the time, he was 24 years old. So, he's made a name for himself. He's made a decent amount of money. He could retire now and still have somewhat some legacy, but if he retired now, I think a lot of people would remember him as the guy who had all the tools, had all the potential, but could never put it all together. Yes, he became world champion for a minute. What did he make? 2 defenses? Hughie Fury and Razvan Kajanu, before he lost his belt to Anthony Joshua, who has just as many losses against opponents that are both smaller than Parker. Interesting, huh? What else we got here? Parker would have KO'd White if the pace in the 11th. Yeah, we'll see. Even that headbutt round as well. Joe was cleaning up White in those first 2 rounds up until that head clash. He was boxing his ears off. So, that head clash definitely changed the way things were going. But credit to White, he hung in there. He still got that second knockdown in the 9th round, I think it was. If he hadn't have got that second knockdown, it could have been a Parker fight. But I was more pissed off at that referee not picking up the head clash. As if Joe had have had some time to recover instead of being called a knockdown, it could have been a whole different story. I'd still like to see White v Parker down the track, but until White gets his title shot, I don't think we'll see it happen. He will be sitting on that belt fighting nobodies. Dipped out of the Otto Wallen fight, didn't want to reschedule it. Hasn't been ordered, still got nothing on. So we'll see what White does. See what the WBC does is going to determine a lot, I think. Yeah, this order from the WBC better come soon. It's invalidating their credibility. They say they're going to do something, then they don't do it. I thought Galahad beat Warrington though. It was a close fight. I'm not going to argue that one. I watched it, but I never thought Josh Warrington was all that either, to be honest. Mauricio Lara proved that, didn't he? Having said that, I always thought Warrington was overrated. Yeah, exactly, man. Exactly. I'm in that boat as well. Bill, for sure. Parker is still relatively young for heavyweights. I think he's 30 now, is he? I think he's 30. Let me look that up, man. His birthday's in January. Had him on my browser. Where's he going? There is Joseph Lupe Solia La Uli Ole Malia Toa. Joseph Parker. 76-inch reach. They still haven't corrected that on Boxwork. It's been like that forever. It's a 78-inch reach, man. Sharpen up. Oh, he's 29. He's not 30 yet. So he's still got a few years left. He was saying originally at the start of his career that he's only going to box till he's 30 or 31, but as expected, that's been stretched out now. He's now talking about 34. He's convinced his mum to let him fight for a few more years to try and get another title run in. Kambosos. Kambosos will come out a year to train. Man, that Kambosos fiasco was all caused by Kambosos' manager. who used to work for Triller. He resigned from Triller, and then as soon as he went back and talked about the money issues that he knew about with Triller to his fighter, hello, this fight ain't happening right now. I want guarantees that I'm going to get paid. But you've also got to put some blame on Tio. Being greedy, not taking offers from his own promoter who actually know his worth. He's valuing himself a lot higher than he's he's got a high value on himself, and he thought Triller were going to pay him what he thinks he's worth, but Triller didn't have the money. So it's over to the zone now for that fight to happen. That's happening soon. I can't even remember when it's going to happen. It's been scheduled and rescheduled that many freaking times. I haven't paid attention. Until fight week turns up for that, I'm not really going to pay any attention to it. There's been so much bullshit. Yeah. It's madness, man. So, yeah. Tio needs to hurry up and get moving. He's been out of the ring too long. He needs to get this Kambosos fight out of the way and then decide whether he's going up or is he going to defend his status at 135, or is he going to finally fight what's his name? Not Demetrius Andrade, Devin Haney, and legitimize himself as the undisputed champion, because right now as it stands, he ain't the undisputed champion, because the WBC franchise isn't a title, it's a designation. But who knows what goes on with that piece of crap, because you're not supposed to be able to lose it in the ring, and Lomachenko did lose it in the ring, didn't he? How does that work, Mauricio? You might as well scrap that belt, because it doesn't mean anything. Doesn't mean a goddamn thing. It's not a title. It's a designation. Yeah, I think Tio will starch Haney. I thought you were going to say Kambosos. Definitely going to starch Kambosos, but Haney? No, man. If he can get to him, yeah, he can starch him. Just a second. Flynn, yeah? I'm streaming. Shh. Oops, you just heard me ground my kid. I pushed the wrong button. Oops. How embarrassing. But I don't give a fuck. Anyways, yeah, I like watching Tio, but the opinion of himself that he's got and the worth that he puts on himself gets in the way. He's another one, kind of like Caleb, that I think needs to be humbled, and it might improve his mentality of where he thinks he is. But I don't see anyone at 1 through 5 beating him. I think he'd beat Haney, but I don't know if he'd stop him or not. I don't know, it's tough. Haney hurt by Linares. Did a funny walk and all. Yeah, he did. He kind of only scraped out of that fight, didn't he? Because he got hurt like that, but got to give the dude credit for surviving and still coming away with a win at the same time. If Tio gets him in that position, he won't be getting out of it. He will be getting knocked the fuck out. He will be getting knocked the fuck out if he ends up in that position, but I don't know. By the looks of it, I don't think Tio wants to fight Haney. Not enough money in it or whatever. He's making every possible excuse not to fight him over and over every time someone mentions it. You know, I'm not fighting that email champ. I think that's what he says, but realistically, when it comes to the WBC, Tio is the email champ. He accepted that piece of shit that ain't worth nothing. WBC franchise. It's not a title, it's a designation. And I'll keep fucking saying it. I did the Donald Duck walk. He was still hurt in that round after yet. Yeah, well, like I say, he did well to come through it and be able to survive it. Being that hurt. But it is what it is, man. It is what it is. And I think there is getting close to the end of a yarn. Anything else? Mention it in the chat if there's something you'd like me to have a quick yarn about before I start wrapping this up. Yeah, anybody heard about who Dempsey McKean might be fighting? I'll just see if I can have a quick Google search. See if I can find anything on it. We'll click the news tab. There we go. Dempsey McKean set for international debut. Oh, that's right. He hasn't fought outside of Australia before, has he? So this fight's going to be in America this Friday on a DAZN show. The Akhmadaliev card. We'll see how he goes, man. I don't expect the opponent to be any type of real threat, so we'll see what comes up. Australian heavyweight contender Dempsey McKean ... Nothing on the opponent. He's been in the UK training, hasn't he? Dempsey McKean. He's been training with Dillian White. He was preparing him for Otto Wallen being southpaw as well. But that fight never happened, so I guess McKean's moved on. He's got to be in the States by now with all the restrictions with COVID and crap. You'd have to be over there early to make sure he's tested and clear and in the bubble and all that sort of crap. So when the opponent is announced, we might be able to comment too much. Won't be able to comment too much on it until then. Dempsey McKean reflects on training in camp with Dillian White. Might be some audio to listen to on this. Oh no, there's not. Meh. There's a picture of Dempsey McKean standing next to White here. He's quite a bit taller. Wow. McKean is 6'6", southpaw. White is 6'4", orthodox. That's what it is. Right, we get back to the chat. Anybody mention a subject they want to talk about? Where we go? I didn't mean to disrespect Tony because Lomachenko. Doctor, man, there's a lot of people. It's like Devin Haney and Demetrius Andrade, the two guys who got gifted the WBC titles. Nobody wants to fight them. So, what do you do? Can't complain about them if nobody wants to bloody fight them. It sucks. Both guys have the potential to make an opponent look bad, and that's scary to a lot of people. And it's hard for them to work their way into a mandatory position for another governing body when they've got a belt. They won't get ranked. It's tough. It's who with Matchroom? Who? Dempsey? Or I think you must be talking about Dempsey. I'm not actually sure whether he's with. Actually, think I remember seeing a poster. You know those Matchroom posters when a new fighter signs up? MC McKean, welcome to the team. Let's see if we can search it. MC McKean. MC McKean signs with Matchroom. Let's see, click images. Straight out of Oz, MC McKean. Yes, here it is. Welcome to the team, DMC McKean. Geez, they're poets and they don't even know it's. Just say the words and then starts to flow. It's. Yep, DMC McKean is a Matchroom fighter. Question answered. It'll be his first fight with Matchroom too, I think. See? Put a date on that photo. Let's have a look. When did he sign up? Image, blah 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 blah. I have to click on it. Let's see. The date is Friday the 12th of November. So he's only just signed with Matchroom. There you go. It's the 16th here, so it's 4 days ago he signed. Signs are, what's it say here? Australian heavyweights contender DMC McKean. 10's promotional deal with Matchroom. So that is the official statement. We want to have a quick listen. Let's have a look here. It's 19-0. Highlight this. Highlight this. There we go. Highlight it and read it. Have a listen to this, team.
19-0 Southpaw returns on Andrade vs Quigley undercard. Undefeated Australian heavyweight contender DMC McKean has signed a multi-fight promotional deal with Eddie Hearn's Matchroom Boxing and will make his American debut on the Demetrius Andrade vs. Jason Quigley middleweight world title bill at the Snow Arena in Manchester, New Hampshire on Friday, November 19th, live worldwide on DAZN. The 31-year-old southpaw from Queensland, who is trained by Tony Sims at the Matchroom Elite Boxing Gym in Essex, is the reigning BO Asia Pacific champion and the reigning IBF Intercontinental champion, belts that rank him at NO.11 in the world with the BO and No.12 in the world with the IBF. DMC 19-0 12 COS was used as a sparring partner by former unified heavyweight world champion Anthony Joshua ahead of his huge showdown with Alexander Usyk at the home of Tottenham Hotspur in September before joining the WBC's NO.1 ranked heavyweight Dillian Whyte at his Portugal training camp ahead of his cancelled fight with Otto Wallin. I am delighted on my recent signing and to join the Matchroom boxing team and get back in the ring next week, said McKean. I've had a brilliant time over the last few months sparring with Anthony Joshua and Dillian Whyte, but now it's time to do it for real and I can't wait to fight in America. Matchroom have big plans in Australia, but it also gives me the chance to box all over the world including the USA and the UK. I'm looking forward to staying active and to keep climbing the heavyweight rankings. Thank you to Eddie Hearn and Angelo DiCarlo and the Ace Boxing Group team for making this happen. I'm very happy to announce DMC as part of the Matchroom boxing team as we continue our expansion into Australia, said Matchroom Sport Chairman Eddie Hearn. DMC is 19-0 and now ranked No.11 with the BO and 12 with the IBF in the heavyweight division and sits on the cusp of some huge fights.
So that'll be enough of that story. Yeah, it is what it is. He's with Matchroom again. I would like to see him rematch Jonathan Rice, to be honest. He was getting close to getting stopped in that fight when it happened, and since then Jonathan Rice has got a new confidence in himself. He had that good win over the guy I was high on. What's his name? The Marine. Oh, that's gonna bite. Can't remember his name. But Jonathan Rice wasn't supposed to beat this up-and-coming prospect, and he knocked him out with a new confidence in himself. But yeah, I think Dempsey will stay away from that fight as well. That's it, Michael Polite Coffee. Thank you, Phil Carl Roberts. Yeah, you were thinking Lovejoy. Yeah, I'm thinking it probably won't be Lovejoy. I'm thinking somewhere along the lines of it won't be Ray Austin because he's fighting Rydell Booker this weekend. Who's that guy that Hemi Ahio fought in America? I don't know. Even that other guy, Junior Farr, fought Hernandez, or a Daniel Martz, or it's definitely going to be a US fighter. It'd be great if it was a Charles Martin. That would be choice. But I think Dempsey would get creamed by Charles Martin. Who else is there? A Iago Kaladze could be a decent shout for a bit of a tune-up US debut. Who was that other guy? Jared Anderson fucked up the other week. Vladimir Tereshkin, something like that. Yeah, I can't say I'm too knowledgeable about the lower level fighters that Matchroom USA has on their roster. So, but those kind of guys don't really need a contract. They can fight anywhere and everywhere. But yeah, I'm guessing we'll find out probably tomorrow or the next day at the very latest who DMC McKean's going to be fighting. Yeah, Lovejoy, not him again. I think Lovejoy's only interested in fights against higher level opponents because he can make more money out of it. He's basically saying, here, I'll get in there and you can pay me to get knocked the fuck out. What have I got? I would imagine that Jonathan Rice is with Top Rank now. Why would he be with Top Rank? Top Rank now, mini deals before an Airman. And at this point, yeah, what makes you think he's with Top Rank, Phil? I haven't heard anything about it, but you could be right. I mean, Polite Coffee was a PBC fighter and he fought on a PBC card, didn't he? Oh no, that was the undercard for. Is that the undercard for Fury Wilder 3? We had a few PBC fighters fighting the other, fighting Top Ranks. But I wouldn't be surprised if he is with Top Rank. I was enjoying a nice pint of. Yeah. Oh dear. Swallow. Easy pill. What is your prediction for Parker versus Shizora? Man, what I want to happen is for Joe to knock him out at around round 8 or 9. I think he can do it, but to be honest, I can't say anything until I've seen them step in the ring for the first round. What's Joe gonna look like? If he's improved, he can do it. If he's gonna do the same old shit, he's gonna end up fighting his way to a controversial points decision again. Boy needs to put his head down, take some risks, and knock this donkey off his fucking feet. Parker late stoppage 11. Yeah, it definitely could happen, man. But yeah, I'm actually quite looking forward to that card now. There's a few competitive fights on it. I think it's the only heavyweight fight. Oh no, it is the only heavyweight fight on there. But there is a couple of other fights, cruiserweight fights, and some competitive fights between unbeaten fighters on that card. So it might turn out okay. I wasn't that hopeful, to be honest, but we've got a few fights announced on there now. I would have thought that he would have been offered a deal after beating Coffee, but yeah, I'm sure he would have been offered a deal for sure. Not only from Top Rank though too. PBC might have tried to offer him something. And shit, just from people watching it, he might have been offered something from anywhere. But who knows, man? Could have been a PBC card. I can't remember, to be fair. Yeah, neither can I. No, it's not really that important, to be honest. It was on TV, so everyone would have seen it, and I think he would have had offers pouring after that. Not huge offers, but you know, solid offers. I just looked it up on... Was a PBC card. Okay, yeah. Oh, was that the... No, was it? Yeah. Hellenius, Kalnaki, Sanchez and a Jugba, that card. Yeah, like I say, it's not that important. I think Parker should stop Chisora. Yeah, there's a lot of fighters he should have stopped or done better against, but like I said, frustrating dude to try and get behind. He just doesn't seem to be able to put it together. I don't know how that boy used to do puzzles when he was a kid. Just can't put it together. Fingers crossed that he can this time. Fingers crossed. Anyways, fellas, I think that's about me for today. Nice little yarn. Thank you to everybody who popped in for a chat. Phil Carl Roberts, Easy Peel, Chinese Yoda, aka Pigeon Mike Tyson. And thank you for behaving yourself today. Appreciate that, man. So yeah, that is me for today, and I am out. Take care. So that's us for today. I hope you have enjoyed. You can show your appreciation with a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Be sure to check out our Discord community, where you can find boxing news, fight links, live streamed fights, and much more. So look after yourself and your family. I'm Jono from Big Boys Boxing, and I'm out. See you!